Good morning and welcome to Joy Jamz with Cindy Price Fabico on this Sunday fun day. And boy, it's another rainy day in Orlando. I can't believe it. When is this rain going to stop? But I suppose we have to be thankful because that rain creates growth. It allows things to regenerate. And honestly, it takes away some of the heat because it can get awful hot here. So this morning, this is actually kind of a special edition of Joy Jamz because I don't actually intend to always do it on Sunday. But I woke up this morning and I was getting ready for yoga at Orlando Power Yoga. And I started thinking that as I listened to my Course in Miracles lesson, I thought, wow, I think I need to go live and just talk a little bit about this and inspire others to stay the path or get on the path. So I'm just going to just jump right into it because I have to get out of here and get to my class on time. And I'm going to start out by just sharing with you again briefly from the lesson today. My lesson today, because the lessons happen based on when you start. So when you start, you're on lesson 1, and there are 365 lessons. And as I have said, if you would like to, you can either purchase a Course in Miracles on what's it called? Amazon, or you can go to Marianne, MARIANNE.com, and she has available for sale the 365 lessons that are recorded in her voice. And I really enjoy those. I find them much more digestible. It's easier for me to take it all in. So today's lesson for me is lesson 140. And lesson 140 is only salvation can be said to cure. And then there's a lot that's written about that, but I'm just going to jump to the end. And I'm going to read this last part of what it's saying here, which is, one moment. So it says, we awaken hearing him and let him speak to us 5 minutes as the day begins, and end the day by listening again 5 minutes more before we go to sleep. Our only preparation is to let our interfering thoughts be laid aside, not separately, but all of them as one. They are the same. We have no need to make them different, and thus delay the time we can hear our Father speak to us. We hear him now. We come to him today. With nothing in our hands with which we cling, with lifted hearts and listening minds, we pray. Only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. And we will feel salvation cover us with soft protection and with peace so deep that no illusion can disturb our minds, nor offer proof to us that it is real. This we will learn today, and we will say our prayers for healing hourly and take a minute as the hour strikes to hear the answer to our prayers be given us as we attend in silence and in joy. This is the day when healing comes to us. This is the day when separation ends, and we remember who we really are. So, again, the concepts within A Course in Miracles are something that if you do Course in Miracles, you're considered a student of A Course in Miracles. And it's a lifelong study. It's a daily practice of reading or listening to your lesson for the day, and then taking that lesson and applying it to your life. And what a great way to start the day than a lesson from A Course in Miracles. And then, as I've told you before, I follow that up every day with a meditation, with a daily calm. And today in a daily calm, we meditated on a word called Ubuntu. And Ubuntu tells us that we can create a more peaceful world by striving for goodness in each moment, wherever we are. And I'm going to put up hey, Melissa, I'm going to put up the meme from A Daily Calm today, and it's a quote by Desmond Tutu. And, as you keep listening to this show and as you join here, what you're going to start to see more and more is like everything here is aligned and lines up. But there's something I want to talk about because I've had quite a wild weekend. I stayed in Orlando this weekend. Normally I would go to my home in St. Pete, but I decided to stay in Orlando this weekend because it's Fashion Week. And I've already attended 2 events. On Friday night, I attended an event called Fen Social. It's basically a fashion and arts networking event, and it was at the Aloft Hotel. I put up some pictures, and it was a joyful time. I just had a great time just chatting with people, talking to people, just like having a wonderful time. But, it looks like I'm out living this wild life, but actually I was back in bed by 10 o'clock that night. And then I got up yesterday, I went to yoga, and then I went to my next event. The event I went to yesterday was the fashion brunch. And that fashion brunch was where local designers had an opportunity to showcase their items. They had a runway, they had models. It was pretty cool, I have to tell you. And I had the opportunity to introduce my very good friend, Devinder Singh Mohan, and his store is called Originals of Park Avenue, and his design brand is KC Mohan. And if you're interested in reasonably priced fashion, and I'm talking about beaded purses, fringe purses, like lovely Indian-inspired fashion, and everything that you'll see me wearing this weekend is inspired by or is created by Devinder, except for what I wore last night when I went out, because I didn't want to, some of my Devinder stuff is really nice. And so I'm protecting it from sweating because after I finished with the fashion brunch, I was there from 11 a.m. until like 2:45 p.m. I had a baby shower for one of my colleagues in Lake Mary, and I live like 30 minutes from Lake Mary. So I ran home, switched my outfit, got in an Uber, and went to the shower, and the shower was fantastic at the home of just a wonderful family who really rolled out the red carpet for Krista and John, who are bringing in their baby June. It's coming very soon, and it's really exciting. And like, aren't baby showers just such joyful events? But then I left there, and because I need to take care of myself, I mean, I've got to tell you, my house is a mess. And the old Cindy would have then come home and obsessively like cleaned and organized. But you know what this Cindy did? She took a nap. I took a 2-hour nap, and I woke up at 9 p.m. because it was time to go again. And so last night I went out with a wonderful group of girlfriends. We started out downtown at this bar called Aku Aku, and we had these drinks that were called, okay, ready? Tiger, F, and you got the rest. I'm trying to not say like swear words on my show, which is hard for me, honestly. Then we went downstairs and we danced and danced and danced. And then we got in an Uber and we went to Southern Nights and we danced some more. And there's nothing like dancing to create joy. And one of my friends, her name is Ada Costanza Mueller. Mueller. She does parties. They're Parties by Ada, and if you can find her on Facebook and Instagram. But she has talked a lot to me about the joy of music. And this week in my series of shows, I am going to read something that she wrote and hopefully have her as a guest. We'll see if I can get her here, but it's going to be really interesting. But anyway, so today I'm going to yoga, and then I'm going to maybe clean my house a little because I got home in enough time last night. I was home in bed by 2. I'm hoping to rest up because this evening I'm going to be at another Fashion Week event. I have a table at the Orlando Fashion Fest, and that's at 6 p.m. at the Orlando Science Center. And I'm going to be there possibly, depending on how he's feeling, with my friend Devinder Singh Mohan. And he's going to be sharing his fashion. And I'm going to be sharing about what it is that I'm doing. And one of the things I'm doing is this. And can't you see yourself doing this? Can't you see yourself sitting here with a room full of guests, interviewing, talking, and sharing about how you are creating joy in the world? Because that is what I'm really trying to do here is I'm trying to create an opportunity for everyone to get hooked in to their joy and to be able to maintain it. Because we can feel joy in moments, but I want life to feel consistently joyful, which means that the events of life don't knock me off balance. The events of life are what I have to be present for, what I'm here for, but I don't let those, or I'm working to not let those events put me off track. So let me move forward with what we normally do. But before I do that, actually, I want to talk to you about my shows this week, because my shows this week are going to be, they're going to be themed. And on Monday, we're going to talk about authenticity and how authenticity creates joy. On Tuesday, we're going to be talking about keeping your space clear, how clearing your space physically and emotionally fosters joy energetically. On Wednesday, we're going to discuss who's toxic. And it's about removing the toxic people from your life. It may be family, and it may be friends, it may be colleagues, but how to create a force field around yourself to protect you. And that's something I'm working very hard on. I have allowed my force field to be pretty permeable over the years. And so a lot has gotten through, and I'm releasing that, and I'm wanting to share with others how to do that. Thursday, we're going to talk about deeper connections, creating and fostering better communication with your inner circle. So how to bring people closer and hold them close and create something that is deep and meaningful in your life. And then we're going to finish it up Friday by talking about self-care. What is it, and how to make it a daily ritual to make life more joyful? And honestly, I keep saying this about this whole idea of self-care not being selfish. Yeah, it is selfish, but it's selfish in service of being available to others. I've been reading to you each day from this book, The Book of Awakenings by Mark Nepo. I'm reading the one for today because I'm pretty sure it's May 20th. I should be able to look on my computer and find a date somewhere, but all I see is Sunday, 9:10 a.m. So this reading is called Breaking Patterns, and he starts it out with a quote by Walt Whitman, and the quote is, "If I contradict myself, I contain multitudes." Okay, so I'm going to read that again because it feels like it's not sounding right, but I'm going to read exactly the words it says. If I contradict myself, I contradict myself. I contain multitudes. So let's read what Mark Nepo had to say about that, because to be honest, I don't quite get that quote. We create patterns that others depend on, and then the last thing we ever imagine happens. We grow and change. And then to stay vital, we must break the patterns we created. There is no blame or fault in this. It is commonplace in nature. Watch the ocean and shore do their dance of build up and crumble, and you'll see this happen daily. We know we are close to this threshold when we hear someone say, "You're not yourself," or "That was out of character for you." What is difficult at this juncture is to resist either complying with how others see us or withholding who we really are. The challenge, which I don't do well, but stay committed to, is to say to those we love, "I am more than I have shown you, and more than you are willing to see. Let's work our love and know each other more fully." Okay, wow. I mean, I can't even tell you. Like, this is for me. I was supposed to read this morning because I'm feeling emotional just thinking about it, because as I move into this, expressing joy, sharing joy that I've been doing, I've heard this message from others. Like, you're too much. Like chill out, Cindy. And I've actually been hearing that lesson my whole life and complying with it, but I'm done with that. I'm going to be respectful with others, and if in the moment what my energy feels like too much, I'm going to pull it back, but I'm going to continue to be me. And that's what's important. So let's read what Mark Nepo's suggestions are for breaking patterns. So this is what he says. This is an awareness meditation. As you move through your interactions today, notice whether you are complying with how others see you or withholding who you are. After each intervention or interaction, simply breathe slowly once or twice and return to fullness of who you are. So we keep talking about, being who we are. And that is a daily practice. And it is why starting out with some sort of a spiritual practice is so very important. So I encourage all of you to think about that. I'm going to move on to our mudra for the day. And our mudra for the day is the Pali mudra. And it's actually not too hard, so that's good. Some of these are a little challenging, and I only need one hand for this one, so I can hold the card in the other hand, so that's great. But the core quality of the Pali mudra, which is the gesture of shelter, and the core quality is trusting inner guidance. Like, okay, here we go, people. It's all like, you see how it's all coming together, everything that I've done. Everything, my originally my Course in Miracles lesson, then when I read you from A Daily Calm, then what I read you from Mark Nepo, now this. And it's the instructions are to wrap the middle finger around your index finger, okay, like that. Grasp your these two fingers, so it's like this and then like this, and touch the tips of the thumbs to the tip of the ring finger on the same hand. Extend the little finger straight out. Rest the back of the hands on the thighs or knees. Alternately, this gesture can be held with hands at shoulder height, so like this, and the palms facing forward. Relax the shoulders back and down, and with the spine naturally aligned, think about this. Okay, so I'm gonna hold mine, and hopefully you're holding yours. And then later today, when you meditate, this could be a mudra that you hold. And so the mantra for this Pali mudra is, attend to the guidance of my inner being. I journey forward with complete integrity. And just in case anybody wants to know where I got these, this is the box. It is mudra cards, and they are accompaniment to a book called Mudras for Healing and Transformation. And I think I mentioned that I attended a mudras class last Saturday in St. Pete. And again, so here I am. I'm teaching mudras. I don't even know about mudras. I went to a 4-hour class. What business do I have doing that? I'm telling you what business I have. I have the business of doing it because I'm trying to create joy for all of us. Okay? And so you don't have to be perfect at things to start doing them. Please keep that in mind. So as my final thing, because I got to get in the car and get to yoga, somebody better be saving me a mat. I'm going to pull a card. And here we are. Oh my gosh, I feel like I had this card this week already, didn't I? Everything I touch is a success. Bomb diggity, that's the truth, because I believe it, right? Everything I touch is a success. I now establish a new awareness of success. I know I can be as successful as I make my mind up to be. I move into the winning circle. Golden opportunities are everywhere for me. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. Okay? It's all about energy, people. and manage that energy. Get out there, have a fun, fantastic Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you in my series this week, where we will be discussing a wide range of things, but we're going to start with authenticity on Monday, and we're going to end with self-care on Friday, and all the other things in between. So sorry, I'm drinking my water and all the things I start in the morning, so I keep burping, and I apologize, but oh well. So I'm going to sign out now, and I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday fun day. This is Cindy Price Fabico and Joy Jamz at the Price of Joy Radio Network.